This is Barbara with Cana Girl Speaks podcast. My voice, your voice. Good evening, everybody. This is Barbara with the Cana Girl Speaks podcast, and I am so excited to be recording on this cold evening. And I'm excited to have this young lady on this evening on the Cana Girl Speaks podcast. And I'm going to introduce those that are watching and those that are listening, introduce you to her. And I'm so excited that she's here. So without further ado, I want to introduce to the viewers and those listening, Miss Sherry Clark. Hi, Sherry.
Hi, thank you, Barbara.
Thank you so much for being on the Cana Girl Speaks podcast.
I'm excited to be here.
I wanted to bring you on because I want you to tell, those that are watching and those that are listening about your business, because it's a very neat business. And I want to get a chance to go out there because I'm like, that's a good, neat idea.
Well,
it's a new thing now. So tell the listening audience about who Sherry Clark is.
Okay, Sherry Clark. So I'm a little East Tennessee girl from Appalachia, and I went to the University of Georgia and met my husband there, and we got married, had 4 kids in Atlanta, and then made our way over here for a job for him to expand his company. And while we were here in Dallas, we were actually in Dallas, living in a high-rise in Dallas, which is really funny thinking about what we're doing now. He inherited some land, which in Arkansas, we sold it and looked for something close by where we could retreat to, and we could let others, like artists, retreat to and have a chance to kind of be inspired and have a chance to retreat. So we started looking, and we were looking within about an hour or so of Dallas, and our realtor found this place in Purdon, which is, Texas. If you don't know where Purdon, Texas is, it's about 15, 20 minutes from downtown Corsicana, and our jaws literally dropped. The property is absolutely beautiful. We just fell in love, and we bought the property. It would be another 2 years before we would actually move to Corsicana, and then later got animals and all of that. But basically what our property is, it's a farm, table, venue, and retreat property. So everybody knows what a farm is. Our farm's a little different. Our produce we grow in hydroponic towers.
Oh, wow.
So it's vertical growing. And then we have a lot of different animals. We've got donkeys. We've got a miniature horse now. We've got Cooney pigs. It's a heritage breed from New Zealand. Geese, ducks, chickens, all that stuff. We also do farm-to-table dinners, which is something I think you would really enjoy. For about 20 people, it's kind of an exclusive experience where we have an artist come and perform or share with us their creative journey. So we do those during the warmer months. And then one of our biggest things right now is glamping. Yes. Yeah. So we have the glamping tents. And all during COVID, when COVID first started, and then our state opened back up in May 2020, we were slammed. We had one tent at the time, and I think we had 4 weekends in a year that we weren't booked.
Wow.
So it was very busy. So we've scaled a little bit. We've got 2 big safari tents now that we've added. And we're booked most every weekend, and sometimes during the week, during holidays, especially during the week, and then, of course, in the summer during the week.
So do you find a lot of people from out of town come and do glamping and come and visit the farm?
Yes, we do. We have probably, besides DFW and Corsicana, and we actually do have a lot of people from Corsicana come to glamp. Austin is our biggest market.
Wow.
Besides DFW. So we have Houston. We have people that are on a road trip that are traveling, say, from Florida up to the Midwest and have stopped as well. But yeah, for the most part, I would say DFW. But we've got a lot of Corsicana folks, which I'm excited about, will come out for a girls' weekend or for a kids' slumber party. We've had a couple of those, and then couples getting away.
Really? So also the animals that you have can young people come out there just to see the animals? Because a lot of times I know some of our kids, they go to the zoos.
Right.
But as far as, just those kids, engaging with the animals.
Absolutely. And one of the things that we really felt was important was to have animals that are approachable. So they're very kid friendly. We didn't want to take a chance, the kid's going to get bit or run over, that kind of thing. So what we're doing now, what we started doing when COVID began, we started doing private farm tours. So we would do like a family, or we would do maybe a smaller school group or a group of 6 people. We charge $50 for that. And we spend about an hour to an hour and a half with them and talk with them about our hydroponic setup and show them how things go from a seed to the produce that we pick and use for our dinners or we sell to customers. And then they spend a lot of time, the majority of the time is spent with animals because that's mostly what people are interested in. So they get to hang out with animals. Mm-hmm. If it's little kids, we let them help feed the animals and move them from one pen to another. And they're shaking the food bucket, and the pigs are following them, and it's a real treat. It's a lot of fun.
So glamping is like a big thing, and so the families that come out there, or like you said, the girls, if it's a girls' weekend. Yeah. What have they said about their experience on glamping? Because explain to those that are listening what glamping is.
Glamping is okay. So glamping is the name for glamorous camping. So you think most people have kind of an idea of what camping is. They think about a canvas tent, freezing rain, whatever, the horrible circumstances, rocks in your back, when you're trying to stay warm in a sleeping bag. So what this is basically a hotel room inside of a tent. You have heating and air conditioning, refrigerator, you have an electric kettle and a French press, and you have hotel-style bedding and rugs and lights and things like that. But instead of hearing your neighbor snoring or the TV blaring in the room next to you, you wake up to the sounds of nature. So there is a little bit of a rustic element because you've got to get outside your tent to walk to the bathhouse to go to the restroom. So there's a little bit, there's kind of the best of both worlds, I feel like, the glamping.
I talked to my friend girls about hey, we can do glamping. They're like, they don't want the animals. They're just
they're
like,
not into the animals. Oh, gosh.
Roaming free and all that. And like, so I guess how do you get people to like step out the box,
right,
and try just maybe one time, just try it,
right? Well, so we're on 4 different booking platforms. So we're on Airbnb, HipCamp, Glamping Hub, and our own website. So for the most part, we don't have. They seek us out. They see our profile and they want to come. But there are definitely people who've never done any kind of camping. They've never had any experience with animals that are out like that. And it's really funny because it's usually our dog.
Yeah.
So we have Samson is our Great Pyrenees rescue that we got from Laura's house nearby. He is the most amazing animal and so compassionate. He will sleep on their deck at night and protect them. He's really an awesome livestock guardian. But people will text me and say, I just pulled up to your gate. There's a dog here. He's huge. Yeah. I don't like dogs. And, by the end of the trip, usually they are in love with Samson.
Oh, really?
So he's never, he does not like coyotes. He doesn't want anybody messing with his animals or his people. So he's awesome. As long as you're not a coyote, you're in pretty good shape.
Okay, what about the food out there?
So the food, we have partnered with, right now we're partnering with Diana and Adelaide of Lady Diana's Zen Cafe. They've been helping us with some meal kits so people can, if they want to cook themselves, they can rent one of our girls to do that. And Adelaide has prepared some kits where that it's just very simple. They just heat it up and they're good to go. Or people can also get a private dining experience where they come out, They cook for me. They help plan the meal. So we just had a guy reach out today, and he's doing a surprise for his girlfriend for Valentine's.
Wow.
So he's like, yes, we want that. And we need it to be dairy free so they can work with different food sensitivities. And then we've also had other chefs we've worked with, like for some of our bigger dinners. We've worked with Adelaide and Diana, and then we have had another chef in the past. So we're going to continue to do those dinners that are more of an exclusive experience with several people under one of our big oak trees.
Yeah. So are you excited about moving from the city to the small town?
We have loved it, and I have loved it. I'll speak for myself. We really weren't sure. I mean, I didn't grow up in the city. I didn't grow up in the suburbs either. I was kind of in a rural area in Tennessee. And then, when we moved to Dallas, we were in a high rise, and I thought, how am I going to do this? I'm a freelance writer, so my favorite thing is to go to a coffee shop and work on my whatever project I'm working on and interact with people. Yeah. And so we felt like when we were moving from downtown Dallas to downtown Corsicana, you were just a few doors down from Mita's. So we're able to go there. So shout out to Mita's as well. I'm able to go there and get that satisfaction. Yeah. And then also I can go out and love on all those sweet animals too. And just, I think just interacting with people and, showing them a kind of something different, like you were saying, something out of the box.
Yeah, because sometimes people just kind of want to get away from all the busy, especially in the city, and so you can come to a place like, Purdon Groves, and you can free your mind, if you're, like you said, if you're a writer, if you just want to just, do some detoxing, just clear. I think that's just the ideal place to go. And like you said, if you want to do a girls, type of retreat, and have discussions and stuff like that, I just feel like that would be an ideal place to, bring your friend girls or, just any kind of group, Yeah. So I'm excited about, I'm definitely want to experience it. I'm hoping that those that are listening to what we're talking about, that you take a chance and, go and experience Purdon Groves, because it'll probably be a treat. Just to see the animals, the donkeys and stuff like that.
They're a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. People enjoy the animals.
Yeah. So I want to say thank you always. Thank you, not thank you always, but thank you for just taking the time out to be on the Cana Girl Speaks podcast. I'm excited to, I was excited to meet you. She interviewed me, so for her project, and so I feel like we've established a friendship.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
So I've always give my guests an opportunity to give their shout outs to anybody I'd like to give their shout outs to. And I want to say thank you again for being on the podcast. So go ahead and give your shout outs.
Yes. So I want to give a shout out absolutely to Adelaide and Diana Castillo, who own the Lady Diana's Zen Cafe. They've been helping us with food. Also, shout outs to my friend Trudy, who's been helping me so much with things at the farm, and our friend John, who helps us. We've just had some really great folks that have helped us. We've also had some volunteers from Navarro College, some of the girls softball and soccer, and the guys football team, and basketball. So thanks for everybody that's invested in us, and poured into us. We're very grateful.
So, before we close out, just kind of like just thinking about our young people, do you have them come out and experience that, so maybe they can see the possibilities of, running their own type of business like that? Because, entrepreneurship is a big thing now.
Absolutely. We would love to do more of that. We did have 2 interns that were teenagers over the summer, and that was amazing. I think they learned a lot. They learned some things that they would like to do in the future, some things they wouldn't like to do in the future. So I think that was a good experience for them. But I definitely would like to be doing more of that. We would like to really engage more with the college and the local high schools, and get some kids to come out and maybe do, a few-week internship that would be helpful to us, but
Yeah.
also would be helpful to them to be able to find out, hey, is this something I would like? Or, maybe I really want to work with animals, or maybe I want to be involved in hospitality,
Yeah.
helping, prepare a hospitable place for someone to come visit. So,
Oh, wow. Wow.
we'd
That's a neat
definitely
idea.
like to do that.
Okay. Well, maybe you never know.
No, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Sherry,
Thank
again, for being on the
you.
podcast. And to my listening audience, thank you always for supporting the Cana Girl Speaks podcast. I always look forward to every week, to a new guest and just talking to them and just seeing, what's going on with them. And so just continue just to support the podcast and continue just to be safe, stay warm because we are in the cold season.
It is cold.
Yeah, it's very cold. And just continue just to support the podcast. And thank you so much and have a great weekend. Thank you.
This is a Legacy Recording Studio production.